All right. So, do you want to intro this one?
Yeah, I mean, what do we got here? We got Halloweentown versus Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire today.
Yeah.
And that's the one. We just if you tuned in last week, we just did Jet Jackson, Wendy Wu, and now we're on to a Halloween episode. Spooky. Halloween in January.
Halloween in January.
Side
Yeah.
note, side note, have you seen you were in Eric Andre? Did you ever watch Eric Andre?
Some of
He
it,
did a
yeah.
spectacular one New Year's. Yes, New Year's. It's
I
so
don't think I've seen that.
yeah. So we're in a way January is kind of spooky. So that's
Okay.
if you revert back to the spectacular that Eric Andre did in probably 2016, Demi Lovato was his guest.
Oh, okay. Well, I have no interest in that now.
Kind of ties into the DCOMs, other than Demi Lovato is not in any of our movies.
I don't think so.
Camp
No.
Rock did not make the 32 cut, which some people were actually disappointed about.
Yeah, I don't care. I refused. That movie is worse than Wendy Wu.
We made the list, so it didn't make it. Sorry.
If this gets popular, we might have to make a second list. But for now, but yeah, so as you said, this is the second episode of the Dcom debate where we are doing Halloween in January, and Nick is fighting for Halloweentown, and I am fighting for Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire.
I'm happy to fight for Halloween.
Okay.
I'm happy to fight.
Yeah, this one's gonna be tough. Anyone that's watching this, I feel like I already know what the popular consensus is, but for my viewers that are actually fans of real film and cinema, we know that Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire is the superior movie.
People with brains of a toddler, Halloweentown is sick. So visually pleasing, colorfully pleasing, beautiful movie. But anyway, you should start. You should start on your joint.
Yeah, so I mean, Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire is it's a pretty self-explanatory title, I think. Um, these kids are grounded, but they have plans on Friday night. So these kids decide that they're going to set their mother up on a blind date, and little do they know they have accidentally set their mother up on a date with a vampire. And this movie is just fucking awesome. It's got a lot of like horror tropes that they shine a light on, like vampires, can't cross water, and vampires need to be welcomed into your home, and everything like that. Yeah, dude, this movie is awesome. Halloweentown, hot take. Halloweentown is an objectively bad movie. Objectively, it's a bad movie.
Well, I mean, I think we'd have to get into the definition of objectively.
There are okay, so it's Halloweentown, right?
Yeah.
Halloweentown. Halloweentown is about 2 blocks. In the movie, it's about 2 blocks of people in really shitty Party City costumes.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, hang on. Real quick. I always like to give the little Wikipedia down here. It centers around Marnie, 13th Halloween, learns she's a witch, discovers a secret portal, and is transported to Halloweentown, magical place where ghosts and ghouls. Okay. Yeah. So, grandma comes into town, right? Grandma comes into town, and it's one of those classic ordeals where grandma's extra fun to the kids, you know, and the mom's like trying to be responsible and like, you know, she wants what's best for the kids and whatnot, you know, and so the grandma comes into town, and her sole purpose is actually to get the mother, who is played by April O'Neil, by the way, Ninja Turtles, April O'Neil, the original Ninja Turtles. So already you have Debbie Reynolds, the grandma, Singing in the Rain, Grammy nominated actress, if I'm not mistaken, for a different movie that I wasn't familiar with, something that came out in the 60s. Do you care? No. it's but Debbie Reynolds. If you're a Debbie Reynolds fan, you know. I mean, it's a household name. And I don't know the name of April O'Neil, but who cares? It's April O'Neil. Um so so yeah, and then they end up following their grandma onto the bus after well, you realize that the grandma's trying to get the mother to come back and help save Halloweentown, because there's a mysterious thing, or people are vanishing, whatnot, you know, the whole joint. And Marnie overhears, and she gets her siblings to tag along, and Dylan reluctantly, he's always got the one-liners. He's got the dank one-liners throughout the entire movie.
The dank one-liners.
He's always there. He's got great one-liners throughout the film.
The only one-liner of his that I remember is "Magic, get real." Like, that's the only one that I remember.
God damn it! I didn't write any of my notes. I don't think I wrote any specific ones in my notes.
That's the only one that I remember. Or no, I do remember in the beginning of the movie when he's like, it's a good holiday, Arbor Day. Trees are important too, you know.
But that's gold though. It's gold. But he's got the singers. He's the comedy relief throughout the film, and Dylan's great. He's like the pimple. He's like, I look like a pimple. Oh, yeah. The costumes, you know, he's always got those things. And anyway, you know, Marnie ends up following grandma to Halloweentown. Mother follows. You know, they you know, there's the thing in the movie theater. You know, he's coming out of the screen. I love the camera work in this, kind of like Mighty Boosh-esque. I have to say, I love the camera. The a lot of the stuff with like the bus, the stop, and everything. It had like this weird. I thought of the Mighty Boosh when I was watching it. It gave me little vibes to that to some extent.
So here's the thing though about Halloweentown, is that all the good things, or all the okay things about Halloweentown are done exponentially better in Halloweentown 2. Everything is done better. The Halloweentown actually looks like a town. The costumes are a little bit better. The acting is a little bit better. The effects are a little bit better. I mean, when you first get to Halloweentown, and it really is, it's just people in bad makeup and masks. Like, it's not, they don't actually look like monsters. You watch Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire, and it's like Fright Night for kids, which is awesome. Like, that's so dope. A good vampire movie for kids that like actually has some creep factor, has some like realistic characters. They might not be the best people, but they are.
I mean, okay, hang on. Hang on. We're gonna talk about effects. You want to talk about their Party City costumes? Yes.
Yeah.
I gotta talk about the $2 CGI turning into a bat. I mean, come on.
Not that bad.
It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. And I think that Halloweentown did a much better job with the natural effects rather than the special effects. I there were some things in my, I mean, don't get me wrong. Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire is a strong player. I'm gonna put it down right now. It's a strong player. But like I liked the fast moving. I did like the effects for the fast moving, the fast pace.
Right, yeah, when he's like going all over
the softball at her,
dope, right?
that quick like right behind it catches you.
It's so cool.
Yeah. But either way, I do think that Halloweentown, they're everything that they've used between just like the right. It just I don't know. It looked good for a very small use of CGI. I would say.
It's not even so much the CGI that I guess I'm going after. It's the fact that the movie itself looks very cheap, and this is at a time when DCOMs were kind of like taking over the world at this point. When Halloweentown was like that was like one of the big DCOMs. I mean, people nowadays still have a lot of nostalgia for it. They definitely have more nostalgia for Halloweentown than they do for Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. I will definitely give you that. But Halloweentown looks cheap. Halloweentown feels cheap. Again, like it's
fairness, there was a moment where I saw where like there was like dog people, and it was just straight up a dog mask.
Yeah.
But that was just the very one thing, and like I looked at it like, hey, it's Halloweentown. Those kids now, the kids are like Dylan isn't anything. He's just a human.
He's a warlock.
Oh, he is a warlock.
At the end of the movie, when he gets mad at Calabar and his fingers start tingling, yeah. So I mean,
I guess I was looking at like maybe some humans are just there as
it's supposed to be all because that's the whole part of Halloweentown is that there's like that separation from the monsters and the humans.
Fair. I guess even with that being a thing, I think that shows. I mean, like just that kind of shows how good Halloweentown is, being that people, like I mean, like you can kind of just go right over that because it's so visually pleasing elsewhere.
I think if you're 5 years old and you don't really know any better, you can look over that. I think if you're 28 years old and you're like, hey, I'm trying to watch a good movie, I would definitely choose. For me, it's all about rewatchability, right? What's a movie that at 5 years old I could watch, and then what's a movie that at 28 years old I can watch and still say that's pretty good. Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire is a good movie.
Halloweentown has these incredible characters throughout the film, right? Like where there's like for one,
it's got like 4.
No. I'm talking like random side characters, like all the people that they had to collect.
Like the Austin Powers werewolf?
Yes.
No.
Yes, no. He was awesome. He's like, and that Luke dude, he's a real wiener. Like, dude, like, come on. He was cool. He was a cool guy. And then they had to collect the hair from the wolf.
Mm-hmm. They had to get the sweat of a ghost.
I know the guy who called Luke a wiener was
the Broom Shop.
Yes, the Broom Shop. Yes. Cool character. Love that dude. I mean, and then you got the ghost with the nose sweat, and then the vampire. I will say, talking about effects.
That was bad. Her little vampire Transylvanian accent was, Doc, that didn't hurt at all. Oh my god, it was so bad.
The sound and the thing, and with the doc, the big nose dentist.
I don't know. That might have seemed that might have been a little anti-Semitic.
That's a hot take. I mean, a lot of those things just had to. Hey, come on now. I think that there was I will say, pointing out, just to kind of just to give you a little something here, because Halloweentown is going to take it by popularity. But just to give you a little something here, there was after she got her tooth pulled, it sounded excruciating. And looking at him, like watching it was definitely making me cringe a little bit. But it was funny because when you see her after, you could totally see that her tooth is just painted black. Yeah. Literally just paint. You could totally just see a black tooth. Yeah. And it was pretty clear. But either way, I mean, the little things like that, I mean, on a personal level, that never bothers me.
I mean, it's got charm to it. I will say it's got charm, but I think that the charm is everything is done so much better in Halloweentown too. Like, Halloweentown is...
Well, we're not talking Halloweentown 2. We're talking the movie where the kid pimps out his older sister here. All right.
All right. All right.
And if Halloweentown 2 gets to Halloweentown, because Halloweentown 2 is going up against Under Wraps, so that's going to be a tough one for Halloweentown 2. But yeah. For tickets, and he does it in concert tickets. Yes, that happens, right? So how, and he doesn't, and it doesn't she doesn't know until they already realize that they're looking for the vampire and stuff, and they're, you know what I mean? So like this comes up at a really rough time too. I mean, right there, we're gonna go on sibling bond here. I'm just gonna point out the sibling bond in Halloweentown, and I'm gonna have to say that their bond was,
They don't seem like real siblings. I believe Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. I believe that is an oldest sister, a middle brother, and a younger brother. I fully believe that. Halloweentown, I do not believe that they are siblings.
an oddball out, hanging around with Lizzie McGuire's dad.
Man, I'm the youngest. Hey, I'm the youngest in my family, and I can tell you that I'm the oddball there, and I would totally hang out with Lizzie McGuire's dad any day of the week. Me and him will go vampire hunting.
What's his name? Do we know his name? He was in the Revenge.
Max Keeble's Big Move. He was too.
Nerds. He's in a lot of shit.
I only know him as Malachi Van Helsing, Max Keeble's dad, or Lizzie McGuire's dad.
I did love some of the aesthetic in Mom's Got a Date. The transparent phone, like in his room, just little things like that. Like Adam, they did characterize Adam pretty well. I liked him as an all-around character. He came off like a cool dude.
Well, I think again, what Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire does better than Halloweentown is so much of Adam very quickly. With Marnie, they're literally telling you to the screen, they're like, yeah, she's weird. She likes witches. She's into scary stuff. You never let her trick or treat. In Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire, they're just watching a vampire movie, and you just see from around him, it's all this like show, don't tell. And I think as a viewer, that's a lot more interesting.
Him watching the video, like he was playing the video game and stuff.
He was playing the video games. He was reading that like National Enquirer kind of like ripoff. Like it. Better characterization, I think. I think the characters were written a lot better. Aside from Adam pimping out his sister.
That happened.
Aside from him pimping out his sister, I think Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire is a far superior movie in terms of direction, rewatchability. I mean, the effects for either of them can kind of go either way. I do think that Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire has a little bit better effects because I do think it's just a better made, better filmed movie.
What do you think? What do you think, real quick? Because I was watching this with my roommates. What do you think of the I can't think of his name. The cab driver, the
Benny,
the Bones,
Benny.
Okay. What'd you think of his animation? Because that always got me as a kid. That was like a really standout animation. And is that CGI? That's CGI, right?
No, I want to say it's a puppet.
Crazy. See, now that's kind of that's where I'm talking about in Halloweentown, like that kind of use of
Benny's good. Benny is a good effect. He's a good effect in the second one too. But I think it's the thing though is that again, Halloweentown 1 has a lot of promise but no execution, and I think it's not until you get to Halloweentown 2 that you actually see this execution. Halloweentown 1 falls flat on so many things, whether it's because they just didn't have the budget, whether it was because all of these actors were still very like wet behind the ears or whatever. It's objectively, take the nostalgia goggles off for a minute, and it's bad.
What does wet behind the ears mean?
Fresh, like new.
I mean, yeah, the kids, but we got Demi Reynolds in there. You cannot talk about a cast. You cannot talk about a cast and say wet behind the ears when Demi Reynolds and April O'Neil is in that joint.
Besides those two, who else? Who else was?
The kids are all fresh. I mean, that's. But they had to. I mean, you gotta.
The bad guy plays a Disney Channel dad in other stuff. Calabar. Yeah,
Goth Willy Wonka. Yeah.
he's the dad in Horse Sense and Jumping Ship, which we will get to later. But he plays Joey Lawrence's dad, so that's all he's really known for, or that's all I know him for.
Would you say that he kind of came off like a goth Willy Wonka?
Oh, for sure.
You know, he has the top hat, the cane, and he's like to the kids and stuff. You know, it's almost yeah. Yeah, he had a little bit of a thing going on.
But I just think that Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire is a it's a better movie. It feels less like I feel like there's with these DCOMs you can tell what's a gimmick and what was a story. Like Halloweentown, it feels like a gimmick. It feels like it feels like a Disneyland idea that didn't really work out, and so they were like, let's kind of switch this set that we never used for a theme park and turn these 2 square blocks into a movie set instead.
Hey, I can't agree with that entire thing, but I can say that as when you say gimmick, I don't look at gimmick as a bad thing necessarily. And I think that's where
It's only bad if you don't execute it right.
but I feel like for what it was, I mean, the follow-up series shows that it kind of did execute it right. I mean, it became, I mean, we only put 1 and 2 on the series, but it did become like a franchise for DCOM, and it's like, and it's like, I mean, it's legendary, and I think that you know, Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire is great, and I would encourage people to go back and watch it. That's for sure, like no doubt about it. It was a banger. It was a banger of a movie, but I mean, Halloweentown, it it stands. I mean, I'm sure I don't have Disney Channel now, but I bet on when Halloween comes around, they're still playing Halloweentown.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure of it, but again, I think it's coming down to the which is the better Disney Channel original movie, and I think better objectively when you look at the film, the cinematography, the direction, even the soundtrack. You and I were saying how good the soundtrack of Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire is.
I'd like to just put out there that like this is like double points to both moms in both movies, because we also got we don't know, I don't know her name, but
she was one of the aunts in Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
And she's been in a ton of stuff, and I'm pretty sure she was in Ready to Rumble, if I'm not mistaken. I just watched Ready to Rumble recently. That's a wrestling based movie. Really? Yeah, she plays Jimmy King's wife. Jimmy King. You gotta get a picture of Jimmy King when I say Jimmy King.
Of Jimmy King right here.
In that movie, she is wild in that. Yeah, I mean, they were good movies. I would be heartbroken to see Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire only get 1 vote, but I have a feeling that that's just a possibility.
I don't know. I mean, I think like I will still say right now that I think Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire is the superior movie over Halloweentown. Take the nostalgia out of it. I understand that's a big thing, but take the nostalgia out of it. Halloweentown objectively is a bad movie.
I mean, I will say watching Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire was nostalgic as well. It was very nostalgic. And if you kind of remember the movie, because I only kind of remembered the movie, I would have never have went back and watched this if we weren't like doing this thing right now. So like going back and watching this, it was good. Like I'm happy to watch. I was happy to watch it, and I would make it part of my Halloween viewing in the future.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm surprised I never did. I didn't remember the character Adam being like that at all. For some reason, that just didn't. And I did like his character. He did whatever. He was a little bit of a bootleg Macaulay Culkin.
A little bit. The great value Macaulay Culkin. Yeah.
Wish list Macaulay. But he was good. I liked his role, and I mean, Good movie, but I'm just gonna, Halloweentown, man. And rest in peace, Debbie Reynolds, 2016. I got that in my notes.
Yeah. Rest in peace to Debbie Reynolds.
Yeah, I mean, I loved her work in that. I love it in two. We didn't put Halloweentown high in that list because I don't even know if Debbie was in it by that point. But.
She was. I want to say Debbie was in all of them.
Really?
I'm pretty sure Debbie was.
Her franchise.
She was. She was. It was. It wasn't Kimberly J. Brown's. It was Debbie Reynolds' franchise. The April O'Neil and Debbie Reynolds, and I think Dylan were the three that were in every single.
Which one's Sophie not in?
I feel like Sophie's not in the last.
No, Marnie's. Kimberly's not in the last one either.
Yeah.
Right? She's not in the fourth.
Right. She's not in Return to Halloween. I think that was like Sarah Paxton or something is in that one.
Playing Marnie?
Yeah. Yeah. It was just a recast.
That's not. Can't do that.
Did you ever look up that like Kimberly J. Brown didn't even know? She didn't even get like a call to come back. Yeah. It was really, really weird.
That is weird because I would maybe consider watching it if I wanted to watch the whole series or something, but I have no interest in watching that one, the fourth.
It's not good. It's not good. But again, I think when back to Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire, it's a better movie all around. I think that Halloweentown has the bigger gimmick. I think Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire is pretty subtle. Like it's not a very like showy, crazy movie, which is why I think maybe it's very underrated and a lot of people don't count it as high because it's not trying to hit you over the head with this gimmick. It's not trying to like.
And the vampire thing is still gimmicky.
It is, but it's pretty. They do, but they don't. But the vampire stuff serves the story, right? No, like Halloweentown is kind of like if you take a town in trouble, that's what Halloweentown is.
Yeah, right? Yeah. It's basic, but basics are for people.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I think with this one, I mean, my vote's got to stand on this one.
My vote is still standing.
I'm sticking to Halloweentown.
So we're gonna need a tiebreaker then probably for this episode. I guess we're gonna need people to vote because first episode Jet Jackson won. That's just how it is. But for this episode, I think Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire is the superior movie. You still say Halloweentown is superior. So I don't know. We'll leave it up to you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. There will be, follow us on TikTok, Dcom debate. And let us know which is the better movie and take the nostalgia goggles off and you will pick the right movie.
You view it however you want to, but I do encourage you to watch both of them.
Yeah,
and vote. Good, and definitely vote. Let us know.
So join us next week where we will be talking Halloweentown 2 versus Under Wraps. And thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week.
Later.